All right, so this is the Energy Blade, Blazing Salvo, Lancing Steel of Spraying, Returning Projectiles, Inquisitor cast on crit build again. A mouthful. But I did a video showing a bunch of Ubers and some Wave 30 Simulacrum and explaining how the build works. I had some requests to just show some juiced mapping. My Atlas is not really set up for it right now since I've been doing a lot of boss rushing, but I threw on some Sextants for Enraged Strongboxes, 100% Delirium, T16 map. I just figured that would be a decent showcase of how it deals with a juiced map. So yeah, let's just run through it. You'll notice I am level 98 and I'm about to hit level 99 here. That was during boss rushing and some other Valdo map farming. So I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get down here in the Viridian Wildwood, don't I? Alright. As soon as I start explaining. So yeah, the build is very tanky. We have stun immunity. We don't have ailment immunity, but we're immune to freeze, and we have reduced effect of chill. And then we have burning ground immunity from something I was running previously. So we don't really need ailment immunity. It comes up sometimes in actual simulacrums, brittle, and the ground degens and all that. Scorch, but even then it's not too bad. If you did want to run juice content, especially like Wave 30 Simulacrum, you could do a Storm Shroud version of the build, so I unfortunately didn't grab that much juice here, but turn off that real quick. So yeah, gets a little bit pixelated with the dynamic frame rate, but you can see our health is really just not moving at all. So I think that's one thing people will be concerned about, whether it's taking enough for these maps, but not a problem at all. If we can do Feared, Deathless over and over and get to nearly level 99 while doing that content, not really a problem. Let's do this murder here. Nearly the other guy there, actually. Yeah, the ground gems are kind of a pain in Delirium. Let's grab this. I'm not sure. There's the boss. Last time. So I will say for Abyss juicing, the build is not ideal because we kill the spires very quickly, even on T16 maps. You can do it. I had done a little bit of it when I first done the build, and I had like 10 KES on T16s. You just have to stand very far away and make sure only your lancing skill hit the spire. It's just a pain though. At this point, I think even our lancing skill would kill the spire pretty quickly. So again, this is 100% Delirious. T16. Our health does not really move most of the time. Part of that is we have 50% spell block, 30% attack block, and then, you know, with tons of recovery. Let's see. Let's knock out Salvo over here.
Time to go.
Just for the juice as we go. So, the reason why it looks like things are taking a moment is because we're getting beyond spawning. So we're killing very quickly, but and typically a bunch of beyond spawns afterwards. One thing that some people do as well with a similar build is instead of the blazing salvo returning projectiles, they'll do one of the variants of arc and one of the variants of crackling lance. That does feel pretty good to clear, but it does a fair amount lower damage. You don't need returning projectiles as much if you do something like that because you have two spells, so they have their own cooldowns. It'll alternate between. But it's not going to be as high damage. It's definitely not as good for Ubers. Right. Sure. Maybe at the end of this as well, I'll show off a quick Cortex, since I'm about to run that for my beard rotation. To show as well other boss. There. Beyond here is nice, but it does make the showcase a little bit odd. Alright. So you'll notice that the playstyle when you're mapping here is usually to attack once or twice with lancing steel, and then as the projectiles are returning to you, you start like dashing into packs, and then the projectiles hit and any blazing salvos that are following you hit. I'm not gonna loot everything in the map. Let me just grab what seems good and we'll run through Cortex. So hopefully that gives you a decent idea about what 100% delirious maps look like with this build. They could be juiced more. I would need to set up my Atlas tree to really show, but give a pretty decent indication. So let me go ahead and grab a couple things and then run out. And put in a Cortex. Okay. Sorry I didn't get more wisps, but you know, it's it's what it is. Alright. Yeah, we'll just leave one on the desk there. Alright, so just to quickly run through a Cortex. Okay, good. I was worried we would have the gain rare mods, which would not really show off the build well. Yeah. So as I've been saying, the main goal with this build is to be able to do Ubers really well and to do invitation farming. We can run any mods on invitation farming as long as we run our Reflect Charm. Reduced CDR is kind of a pain, but we still do great damage, so it just takes a few extra seconds. So let's run through the mods here.
Some ingenious designs hidden in his memory.
So I usually dash right at the beginning just to get my spell block since I get spell block on cast.
Do you remember dying here? Will. Turn away! What are you? Is this the realm of the past?
Alright.
I am king, and you will bow.
So again, check out my other video if you want to see any of the build details. I also have a post on Reddit I made, which details each item slot, the corruptions you want, and whether they're necessary. Probably be more responsive there. So feel free to chime in on that build guide.
No! Impossible! How? This isn't over. This will never be over.
Alright.
I will unify humanity.
I'll end it there, and thanks for watching. Take care.